Okay, today we're going to have a look at the oil sticks that I use for caustic painting. I don't think there's a lot of information out there, and we're going to look at 3 different brands: Oil Bar by Winsor Newton, R&F, and Shiva. So these are wax mixed with pigment, and we're going to have a look at how they perform, a comparison on a wood panel and a canvas panel. Alright, so here's a look at the prep surfaces we're going to be working on. One is the most common thing that I use when I'm working with a caustic paint, which is a wood panel coated in a layer of wax. And the second surface we're going to be using here is just a standard artist canvas with gesso. Here's the first brand, Shiva, that we're going to look at. This happens to be a blending stick, but you can see on the right hand side I have 2 smaller sticks with note labels, and those are the Shiva ones I'm going to be working with. Here we have Oil Bar by Winsor Newton, and this one's R&F. So the first thing you have to do when you're working with these oil sticks, which is can be frustrating, is you have to peel off the outer skin, which is hardened wax, and it can be frustrating. But mostly what I'm trying to show is the consistency of the different bars. So this first one is very flaky. This is the Shiva. It's very flaky and hard, almost similar to the lead on a little creamier than the lead on a pencil crayon. The next one is R&F, and it's much softer. The other thing is it comes in this plastic case, which is pretty useful when you're storing these things because they are extremely messy. So this one takes very little effort to get the skin off. It's it almost falls off, and the inner texture is extremely kind of greasy and creamy. So it takes very little effort to get the paint onto the canvas or the working surface. However, because it's so greasy, it also kind of rubs off with another stroke of the stick very easily as well. So here we're on to Winsor Newton Oil Bar. This one also comes in a plastic container, which can be helpful for, again, storing. But unlike the R&F, this one is kind of extremely thick and almost sticky, and kind of more like what you would expect a soft wax to be like. One of the drawbacks to this one is this label, which is stuck really well to the wax, and it's just frustrating to work with. On the other hand, you'll see the R&F has a kind of a wax paper type label, which tears off really easily. So here you can kind of get a sense of it's a little thick to push through the paint, and it's much denser than this R&F. But there's the label I was talking about. It's much nicer. So we're going to start off by doing a couple lines of the Shiva, both on the wood and the wax panel, and then we're following that with the R&F, and then thirdly by the Winsor Newton. And so here we're going to do another color: Shiva, R&F, and now followed by Winsor Newton. Same thing: Shiva, R&F, Winsor Newton. And then we're going to do 2 more lines. This time we're going to blend the 2 colors together to kind of show the blending properties of the different oil bars. So same order, Shiva on the top, R&F in the middle, and Windsor Newton on the bottom. And now I'm just gone in with a blending stick, and I'm just kind of showing how they react when you go over with another coat of a stick. So although the R&F in the center there is extremely bright, you can see that it kind of has this greasy texture, which also wipes off really easy because it goes on just as easy as it comes off. And here you can really see that. I wanted to try and demonstrate that the best I can. Here's the blending stick again, and so this becomes really obvious what I'm trying to get across. The top Shiva one gets pushed back down to the gray really easily. The middle R&F does not on the canvas, and the Windsor Newton does not. So now I'm just going to show another way that I've used these in the past, which is with a palette knife. When you're trying to kind of get more accurate placement, and the giant end of the oil stick isn't convenient for that, I'll sometimes take it off and use it similar to any other oil paint or wax medium. And I'm also just trying to show kind of how thick this stuff goes on. So again, that kind of goes to the Windsor Newton as being the thickest, most wax type feel, and then a more greasy, thin feel for the R&F, and then again the harder, kind of more almost lead feel of the Shiva. So here I have the Shiva on the left, R&F in the middle, and Windsor Newton on the right. And I'm just kind of layering it on, showing you how thick it's laid on there, trying to capture that with the light, and showing you kind of how it's blended together. So here's 3 different styles of painting done with the different sticks. The first one was done with the Shiva, this middle one was done with the Windsor Newton, and the last one was done with the Shiva and the R&F. Hey, if you like the video and you want to see more videos like it, hit the subscribe button down below, and then the like, and there'll be more painting videos as well as process videos coming up in the future. Alright, keep easy.